let's get our acceleration. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a Ram 1500 Sport, and this particular Sport is finished in Hydro Blue, which was kind of like a special edition Sport they had for the 2018 model year. First and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for providing us with the truck. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's get right into the video. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 5.7 liter Hemi V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 15 around town and then 21 on the highway, with power outputs being 395 horsepower and then 410 pound-feet of torque. Now going over the front end, this has the older generation Sport hood obviously, which just looks super fake because like you can just see right there that the vent goes to nothing. And you've got the cool like dual stripes here on the hood, and then you can see the whole front grille here. It's got like that blue with the black accenting and then the fully blacked out logo. And then you've got the lights here, so they're projector halogen bulbs, but you've got like a little LED turn signal, which I actually really liked the look of this LED turn signal. And then a body painted bumper with parking sensors all across. You've got the fog lights, those are halogens as well, but overall the front end with all of the accents it has actually looks pretty good to this day. Now coming around the side here, we've got 275mm tires on 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well, and they're all blacked out as part of this Sport package. And then you can see this one has the standard coilover suspension, which you can tell by looking at it right there. There's no air canister or anything for the air suspension, and then this one does not have a leveling kit. And the easiest way to tell if the truck has a leveling kit or not is you look at the front end versus the back end, and if it kind of like dips forward like this one does, it's just standard. And you got the Hemi badging, the Ram badging all there, that's all blacked out. And then if we take a step back here, here's kind of like your full side view on the Sport. Now taking a look back here, we can see that this one has a bed liner in the truck, and then I guess there's some floor mats chilling back here, but we've got LED bed lights here in the back as well, which will help kind of illuminate everything back here. But this is a standard 5'7" bed, and this one also happens to have kind of like a soft fold tonneau cover at the top, which is definitely pretty neat. But overall, the back end hasn't changed a ton since the new generation, a little bit with the lights and everything, but other than that, it's pretty similar. Now let's go over the rear of the Sport, and you can see the little LED taillights there, which actually look pretty good. You've got the normal cargo light up there, and then coming to the taillights, looking a little bit closer, you can see, and these are pretty distinctive at night, like you pretty much always know it's a Ram. And then you got the parking sensors all at the bottom, chrome exhaust tips. And then in terms of towing capacity, I don't know the axle ratio on this truck, but if it's got a 392 axle ratio, towing capacity would be just over 10,000 pounds roughly. But other than that, it's actually pretty good looking from the rear to this day. This is one of my favorite parts about this truck. They brought the blue accenting to the inside of the truck. Just absolutely love that look. And they actually get soft touch here on the side, and then blue stitching as well. And then this person added side steps on the side. Well, the previous owner is what I mean by this person. And then coming to the seats, you've got like the regular seats that came in the Laramie for this generation. You got little ice buckets there on the side, and then you can see you've got the storage underneath the seat. All pretty straightforward with the seat itself. But let's actually pop in. So stepping in, the running boards make it really easy. And if you guys are wondering, I'm 5'11". I've got a good amount of headroom. Legroom is decent as well, not as big as what's in the new generation. Got a little 12-volt back there, and then you can see a little cup holder right here on the side. But other than the blue accents, the back here is pretty normal. Now let's look at the door panel here at the front. So again, you've got that blue stitching with the blue accenting, which looks really nice. And then same with the seats. You got the Laramie seats here in the front. They are heated and ventilated. You can see the little adjustments on the side of the seat. And then you got little pedal adjustments. And then again, blue accenting piece around here. You've got little light control right there. You actually have the adjustments for the pedals and then the steering wheel as well. But there's one more look before we pop in. So here's the steering wheel in the 1500 Sport. So you got like smooth leather all around, and then you've got blue stitching on the inside. So again, love all the blue accenting. So you've got the normal cruise control, and then you can go up or down with the gears. Got the voice command controls for the center stack. Still get radio controls in the back just like the new ones, and then you see the windshield wiper stock just behind. But yeah, they continue the black and blue theme even onto the steering wheel. Now here with the gauge clutch, you can see you've got RPMs on the left side, and the right side you've got the speed, and then there in the center you can see there's a couple different menus you can kind of scroll through. Again, this doesn't look as nice as what's in the new ones, but the information is all pretty similar. Like they changed some things with how it looks, but I mean, you can see It's got most of the same stuff there in the center. Now I wanted to show this whole area so you can see all of the blue accenting that goes all across the truck. I think it's pretty neat. And then coming to the center screen, you can see that since this is a 2018, it's got the updated screen. So you can see you've got the nice trajectory lines there with the backup camera and resolution on it's pretty good. And then going to the infotainment system itself, it's actually pretty similar to what you get in the new trucks. Looks a little bit different, but you can see response time is pretty much just as good. Like I said, you get the heated and ventilated seats with this. But yeah, you can see the layout of the screen's a little bit different, but in terms of the responsiveness and the look, it's somewhat similar to an extent. And by the way, the sound system with the Sports can be pretty good if they get the Alpine sound system, but it's not standard equipment with the trucks itself. And that's everything for the infotainment system. Now coming down below, you can see that we've got the gear selector right here. So you got the dial shifter, and it definitely feels more substantial than the new ones. It just like clicks into place differently. Definitely has a different feel. And then coming down here, you've got your 4-wheel lock, you got your 4-wheel low, 2-wheel drive, and then 4-wheel auto with the true neutral there in the center. You can see over here we've got the trailer brake controls, heated ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, the little parking sensors to turn those on or off, your tow haul mode and stability control. And then yes, it does have a dual zone climate. You got your analog climate controls and then analog radio controls. And then you got the blue all around here with some extra storage there in the front, couple cup holders. And you can see you got a 12 volt, and then you can just kind of stick your phone right there. It has a diagram for it for a reason. But opening up the center console, you can see you got a coin holder there, and you actually got some USBs. And then opening up the rest of it, you can see a little bit more storage space you can thread through with a cable there in the bottom, which is pretty interesting because as you guys can see, there is nothing to plug a phone into. So you got like this random cable thing that, yeah, not sure on that. But anyways, coming over to the glove box, you can see dual glove box functions pretty good. You got the owner's manual in there, and for some reason it doesn't want to pop up. But on the top one, it says Sport. Now looking up top here, we've got a little window control. And you can see that opens and closes pretty easily. And then no sunroof. You can get like a regular sunroof as an option. Panoramic is not an option. And then the other thing is universal garage door opener, all black headliner, and that's all for the top. Now that we're done going over the interior on this Sport 1500, let's quickly talk about the current pricing on these trucks. So the pricing varies based on mileage, but for these 2018s with the Hydro Blue, for some reason, and I'm guessing because it's just such a cool color, they have just held their value really, really well. And so most of them are selling from anywhere from the like mid to high 30s to low 40s still, which is absolutely insane because that's not that far off from the price of a new body style truck, which again, I think it's just because of like the fact that this is pretty limited edition and all that. That all being said, let's take this Ram 1500 Sport out and see how it drives. Let's quickly talk about visibility before we set off here in this Ram 1500 Sport. So you can see visibility over the hood, really good, and it's cool to see the stripes and then the stitching here on the top of the dash as well. It's in blue. There's your visibility through both the mirrors. And remember, these are the power folding mirrors, so there's just that little button right there that you press, and then that will fold the mirrors right in, and then you can see visibility all throughout the rest of the rear. Really solid, just as good as what's in the new generation. And that all being said, let's set off. We are initially setting off here in this Ram 1500 Sport, and first and foremost, let's actually talk about the road noise and the ride quality with this 1500 Sport, because this is in the older body style. So from a road noise perspective, it actually does pretty decent. It's not as quiet as the new generation, but it still definitely has kind of like more of a luxurious feel. Notice it popped into the little eco mode right there. And then from a ride quality perspective, again, it's not as smooth as the newer trucks, but it's still definitely smooth for a pickup truck in general. So I'd still put it on par with other trucks. I'd just put it at average. And the one thing I am noticing with the steering is it seems like it kind of floats around a little bit. There's a little bit more play with the steering itself, and it's also just it feels a little bit I don't know how to explain it, but like it just feels a little bit looser. Like it's just overall, it's just definitely a different feeling in general, but it's still easy to maneuver, easy to steer, just like the new body style trucks. But you definitely can tell that the truck has the engine a little bit further forward compared to the new one. Like just with the weight distribution, with how the truck turns in and everything, can definitely feel the weight difference in the truck itself. We'll see how the brakes perform. Yeah, the brakes are still really solid, so there's no problem with that. Now taking a turn here, we'll see how the truck actually does. Yeah, still just as easy to steer as the new ones. We're gonna get our minor acceleration here. Yeah, so the gear shifts are still pretty quick, and it's got more than enough low-end torque that it just gets up and moves pretty well. But coming up here, we'll get our full-blown acceleration, and I guess people are telling us to vote. Okay, anyways, let's get our acceleration. That was pretty interesting. So it didn't downshift, it just kind of went into it, but it still had enough torque to get up to speed pretty well. So from an acceleration standpoint, definitely solid still. I mean, it doesn't feel any slower, any quicker than the new body style trucks. It feels about the same, to be honest. And that'll get me into summing things up with this truck. So I know these sports, again, they kind of carry a little bit of a market premium, but again, there's not that many out there in the old body style with this color, because they just did it for the 2018 model year with these Hydro Blue Sports. And so it's definitely more of a unique truck. And you know, right now maybe it's not necessarily a collectible, but down the road there is definitely potential for that. And overall, I still think the new body style trucks are still solid. I think they still look good. And I mean, you can see it's got pretty much most of the tech that you'd need. So it's still like a good value and a good truck overall. And so if you're in the market for a new Ram and a brand new one's a little bit out of the budget range, then checking out one of these 2018s or 2017s, I think that's definitely still a good value and it's worth a look. That's gonna sum things up for our video on this 2018 Ram 1500 Sport, more specifically the Ram 1500 Sport with the Hydro Blue package. But anyways, a huge shout out and thank you to the Dodge Ram here in Sandy for providing us with the truck. Check out the inventory in the link below. I will see all of you in the next video.